Hey guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to watch America is on easy mode. And somebody sent us this video and I don't know what does this mean, like how America is on easy mode, like is America not going after each and every country? Like yes, you can say a bit of it, like because like previously we used to see like how America used to go on war with everyone. Like they don't like Afghanistan, they used to go at war with them. They used to don't like Iraq, then they used to go at war with them. But nowadays we see they normally refrain from war. They have taken their soldiers back from Afghanistan, and now even in Ukraine they are not like getting too much involved. They are getting involved by the other channels only. They are just paying the Ukrainian people to like build on their soldiers and giving them tanks and things, but they're not getting involved by themselves. So America is getting a bit on the softer side, but yes, I think so the people of America also want that focus on us, not on the world. So we'll see what this video is all about.
And I read in a comment box that you guys feel so safe to live in America because America is so powerful country, and you guys know that it is not easy to defeat America on war or by economy basis. As we all know that America is not only it doesn't has only it doesn't have only weapons and all, but financially it is also economically wise it is also very good. So maybe that's the reason you guys feel so safe in America. But I don't know that what is going to be happen in this video and why they said that the America is on easy mode. Maybe it is maybe in America it is very easy to live. I don't know what is going to be happen, but yeah, let's watch the video.
It will be very interesting to watch, so let's start the video.
Perhaps the strongest nation on the planet, and they have a presidential election coming soon where they will elect the person who will rule the country for the next 4 years, and they will fix the country's economy, and they will take down all of its enemies, and they will protect the nation's interests.
That's what everyone
and this
says.
is all possible because the presidential election is the most important thing in how America works, isn't it? This area of the world is one of the most naturally rich in almost everything. The USA has incredible amounts of incredibly cheap food. We all know the stereotypes of the large portions of beige potato products with calorie counts in 6 digits, but that's not far from the truth, and in the grand scheme of things, that's not even a bad thing. The country has over 1.5 million square kilometres of arable land, so much so that the government used to give it away for free. Now let's look at a counterexample. Angola is a country whose horrific decades-long civil war decimated its capability to produce food, and now its capital, Luanda, is the most expensive place in the world.
Oh.
By some reports, half a litre of ice cream costs between $17 and $31.
Oh.
But how can that be? How can this place be the most expensive place in the world to live?
Yeah.
Transportation makes food, and for that matter, most things, very expensive.
Okay.
Road and rail connections to Angola are, to say the least, not good. There is a single rail connection to a neighbouring country, and that's to the Democratic Republic of Congo, who wouldn't be your first choice, would they? And that railway doesn't go to Luanda, the capital. Instead, food arrives by sea and air from incredible distances, from China, Portugal and the US. That's how the Angolan Häagen-Dazs gets its price label. The US, however, has huge population centres right on top of where the food is made. And even where they aren't, the transportation costs are almost negligible because of
Navigable waterways. Yes, we have seen
the
that.
Mississippi River is the world's longest navigable river. Over 3,000 kilometres of it laid right on top of the food.
Geography is too perfect.
And you may say,
for
but
US.
why is this important? And I'll laugh and say, before continuing with the answer, short distances by sea are very cheap. You may need to pay for fuel or learn how to manipulate the wind, but you don't have to build the sea. The sea is, in essence, free. But do you know what's even cheaper than the sea? Rivers are. They're calmer, easier to navigate, and it's much harder to get lost. And in this network of rivers, Kentucky tobacco, Wisconsin cheese, Iowa corn, and Missouri racism can be exported from the home state and anywhere in the river basin incredibly
Missouri
cheaply,
racism.
and with a couple of small adjustments. But wait, there's more. From Nantucket to the Gulf of Mexico, the world's longest series of barrier islands create natural harbours, protecting commerce and life from the worst weather.
Yeah.
From Mobile to Long Island, from Houston to Savannah, this network of islands create another inland waterway, all provided by nature. As of 2016, the largest ports in the world may be Chinese, Singaporean or Dutch, but while these countries were spending incredible amounts of their money and time reclaiming land from the sea to build these ports, or in the case of the Dutch, whole provinces, Americans spent that time reading books, building Panamanian canals, inventing the Cheeto and building the nuclear bomb. All of this free capital means that the US can afford the world's largest military. Not that they even need it for defence though. Here the country's geography comes in handy yet again.
Isolation and invasion.
England's, and later Great Britain's and the UK's navy was the key to its success, and it could only do so by being an island. So after Great Britain united and land wars with Scotland became somewhat of an anachronism, they turned their attentions elsewhere to other continents, and they opened up trade routes with the rest of the world in some force. This strength put England on favourable terms in any trade negotiation with any nation, and the island grew wealthy. Other maritime empires like the Portuguese, the Dutch and the Danish kept outposts all around the world for the very same reason. Ever since England had a navy, the island of Great Britain has never been invaded. For all that I've said about water making transport easy, it also paradoxically makes a perfect barrier to invasion. By the English Channel, the UK remained uninvaded in both world wars, but at a huge cost. The Channel was enough to prevent land invasion, but not enough to immunise the UK against catastrophic bombing of major cities. But just how vulnerable is the US? Land invasion from the south is damn near impossible. The major settlements on both sides being hundreds of kilometres of inhospitable desert from the border. Invasion will be expensive and not very valuable. But what about Canada?
They won't do it.
In the War of 1812, didn't they? In the early 19th century, things were very different. The Louisiana Purchase had only just taken effect, and the US wasn't in complete control of the Mississippi. Canada was also a lot more compact, not having its vulnerable food and energy producing areas dangled over the continent, and Vancouver was barely a twinkle in the eye of Seth Rogen. Today, Canada is spread incredibly thinly. The US's invasion of British Columbia could take out the country's Pacific capabilities in a long weekend. And this isn't even to mention the interdependence of each country's economy. A Canada-US alliance is the best solution for both sides. So if there's no invasion from the north or the south, all this leaves is an invasion by sea.
Basically, sea plays
that's
a
not
very
happening.
important role in
The UK
America.
could only dream about this amount of isolation from Europe. The US's navy is today its power. An invulnerable core means that they have the ability to project power way beyond their borders without even worrying about it. In the 21st century, a president can wage a decade-long two-front war to protect the country's interests, and the average citizen doesn't feel a single thing. The fact that the country even has interests in an impoverished, landlocked Asian nation on the other side of the planet is remarkable. The navy is important for keeping the world's trade lanes open. If you want to buy a body pillow from Japan, you can do so without even thinking about it. Regardless of what the American politician says, there is nothing special about the average American citizen. The wealth and strength of the United States comes from its geography.
Yeah.
So if we have just seen why the United States is so naturally powerful, we will now see why it would take a monumental effort to screw that up. Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea, is a medieval king without the crown. He's supreme commander of the army and he can do anything he wants within the laws of physics except commission a realistic portrait. Contrast the President of the United States, which is a fully elected position decided by the people and has one of the largest electoral bases in the world. There is a system called the US government, which is put into place either deliberately or by accident, and it provides extreme stability.
3 branches of government.
The president has no direct influence over justice, and for a law to be passed needs hundreds of people in 2 houses to agree before the president has the power of veto, essentially saying, hell no, what are you all thinking, get this crap off my very expensive desk. A veto is favouring the status quo, and is the last of many hurdles a bill will have to pass before being enacted. And as we've seen before, the status quo is actually very favourable towards the USA. But this series of events doesn't have to occur if the president signs something directly into the law themselves, using an
Executive order.
Executive orders are sort of laws that the president can make directly that don't need the same approval as laws from Congress. As easily as the president can make one, all of those executive orders can be overridden or cancelled completely by the next president if they put their mind to it. And there will be a next president relatively soon because of a little thing called
Term limits of 8 years.
Whether a president does a good or a bad job, they will have to leave office after a maximum of 8 years, meaning the average American will have close to a dozen heads of state in their lifetime. The amount of damage a single person can do to a country this
Morgan
wealthy
Freeman?
is absolutely minuscule, especially when the next president can simply erase most of what you've done.
Yeah.
But this might not happen if an extremist gets into office, will it?
First past the post.
First past the post voting means that every eligible person gets a single vote for a single candidate, and the winner is the person with the most votes, regardless of whether that's 90% or whether that's 10%. One of the problems with first past the post is that when there are multiple parties that appeal to the same type of person, that weakens the position of that side of the debate. So we have strategic voting, where people don't actually vote for their first preference, but instead for an at least they're not the other party.
Oh.
All mathematical models show that this eventually leads to a two-party system in which each party attempts to grab the median voter while appealing to the respective side of the debate. Now, while this single-dimensional politics does seem to be an inaccurate representation of people's actual opinions and desires, the one thing it does lead to is the most unobjectionable government, the least extreme, and the least likely to overthrow what a country has going for it. And the country that we're talking about has a lot going for it.
Yeah. Just in case.
Now, just in case there does manage to be an extremist elected to presidency who gets both Congress and the public on their side, and together they all start the day with a healthy bowl of insanity, and they set out to destroy the country piece by piece, and they manage to do significant damage within 8 years. The country has enshrined in its constitution a little jewel designed for moments just like that.
Amendment number 2 about guns? Oh. To buy before an election. Oh man, you Americans just love guns, no?
Seriously, this video was so informative, and from the past video also we got to know that how sea and rivers plays an important role in a nation's economy, and same as this guy told in this video that the sea plays an very important, or the rivers plays in the rivers play an important role in the transporting and exporting and importing of the things, and this is also the reason that why America is so rich. And after that we got to know that how Navy plays an important role in the America. Basically the soldiers, the Navy are very powerful in America, and we also got to know that the country which where the monarch is in rule doesn't become so powerful, but America, from this video we also got to know that the America is a democratic country. So this is also the reason that why it is so easy to live in America, and we also got to know that basically when we transport things from the different places, so if the route will be short, so it requires less fuels. That's the reason why it is very easy or the cheap to transport the things from the America. So yeah, definitely this video was so informative, and the only thing which I feel bad that we Indians are not taking full advantages of our river, and I do think that because of our situations, and we can and most of our large rivers are used for the holy purposes. So that's the reason we are not using our rivers that much as American people are doing. So yeah, this video was so informative for me.
This video could also be titled like explaining America in 10 minutes, because like it told us everything about it, like how geography is too important for America, and like we have seen this, like how geography saves America from every attack. And the attack on Pearl Harbor was also on an island of America, not on America itself. So that just shows how strong America is and how far away it is from every influence. And like they also have influence all over the world, so they are not far away from anyone. So in that case, and also the thing is about the food and everything was talking about was very right. And also like how everything is there in like a constitution to help or some or the other thing. The last part was just fun, how like there can be, if there is an extremist who comes into the power, then there is also like guns for him, their second amendment, and we can even kill him. So that was a different case altogether. But other than that, every other thing was very well told and very well like made sure that we understand in this video, and it is a very good information about America. Like how America is on easy mode, I still don't get it. I think so, like you can still go on a bit like he was might be saying that okay, America gets most of the things like because of its geography. So in that case it might be on easy mode because it does not have to go a lot to get those things. So that might be the answer to it. So what do you guys think about it? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.